Hi, welcome to my first video. I do not understand a thing about making videos. I do not understand a thing about editing. So this is gonna go crappy as fuck. But look, it's like around the 17th or 18th day of my quarantine, and I am going literally insane. So that made my sleeping schedules being like all bonkers and whatnot. And how can I say this? I'm the kind of person that likes to stay at home, preferably in bed. This is my bed. It's actually bigger, but I'm not gonna show it right now. Anyways, uh, but oh, my hamster's awake. Um, I'm as much as I like being in bed and at home and whatnot, it's driving me insane that I can't go out. So, well, I have nothing more to do, so here's me. If you want to see better made videos, do follow Pilloff, or Randy Rainbow. Oh my god, I love Randy Rainbow. But seriously, follow Pilloff. She's amazing with makeup. God. Or you can follow my fiance, Kicker's Boy, if you like games and whatnot. He's way better at this than I am. I literally suck. Um. Anyways, I was trying to sleep tonight, and I couldn't. I did my best. I swear to God, I did my very best, but I couldn't because again, sleep schedules are all bonkers. So I found myself at 7 a.m. still awake and pondering the wonderful dilemma of Queen of the Damned and how badly adapted it was to movie. Now, I can spend hours on this. Literally, I could make a video of around 6 hours, roughly, um, telling you how bad this was. I'm gonna try and keep this short. Like I said, my first video, I really have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just bored to death. I'm sorry. Seriously, I am. Anyways, I know that Queen of the Damned came out like ages and ages and ages and ages ago. I know because I was 20. Oh, I miss my 20. I was a goth. Oh, that was the good old days. Anyways, and don't get me wrong, I love the liar. I love the characters, well, some of them, because seriously, let's face it, this as if anyone here has read Anne Rice, that is as far from Queen of the Damned, the book, as it can be. Um, which is, I mean, seriously, what were you thinking? And to think that this was endorsed by Anne Rice herself, the movie, I mean, I mean, she ranted about Interview with a Vampire. Not that it was perfect. I mean, who chooses Antonio Banderas as Armand, who's supposed to be, I think, like 16, 17? I think, I'm not sure if he was like redhead, blonde, something, but definitely not Antonio Banderas. The extreme opposite of Antonio Banderas. And I like Antonio Banderas, he's hot. Well, was hot. Actually, I haven't seen him lately. Um, but he was hot in the movie, but he was not Armand. Seriously, who does that shit? And I seriously, my heart is broken with this. It's, uh, it's bad. It's so bad you can't even. Uh, But she ranted about Interview with the Vampire being so bad and so, oh my god. And I remember this because, yes, I was alive then. Uh, God, I'm old. Anyways, so I actually was surprised when she endorsed Queen of the Damned. Now, if, like I said, if anyone here read Anne Rice, you will know for a fact that Interview with the Vampire is actually pretty close to the book. Like, there's all these things that are missed, there's all these things that are wrong, but it's okay-ish. It's not that bad. But Queen of the Damned. Oh boy. Queen of the Damned is something really different. Queen of the Damned, I resorted to actually watching it as an independent movie, like a vampire movie on its own that has faintly familiar names that I know, because if we take away the fact that it's nothing, and I mean nothing, like the book, it is an okay-ish vampire movie. I mean, there are far better ones out there, but it's an okay-ish. And I gave me respect for the guys that were behind the music, and that I completely forgot the name now, Jesus. And I actually ended up liking the band because of that, because I didn't like them before. I mean, but it's right under my tongue. I hate when I forget a band's name, and I am sorry guys, if the band, if you ever get to see this video, I am so sorry, because I actually enjoyed your work. You did an amazing job. I remember reading the lyrics of Lestat's music in the book, and it was the only thing that I really hated, because they sounded a bit forced, convoluted and whatnot, and not really like vampire songs. And you see that um you see that those songs in the movie, and they are actually really good, really great. They transmit the angst, the anger, the emotion. That's like, and this is like the good parts that I can pick up of the movie. I mean, let's face it, because there are things in that movie I want to tear my eyes out. I mean, seriously, Lestat and Jess, seriously? That doesn't even happen in the book. They meet for like 5 minutes, and then they meet after she's already a vampire again for a short time. And it literally makes no sense. They have David Talbot looking like a 40-year-old, or just at least 50, but the guy's a 65-year-old tweed wearing gentleman. It looks nothing like the guy that they had playing him. But okay, let's try and start this. And by comparing the Lestat person, the Stuart Townsend's Lestat versus, for example, Tom Cruise's Lestat. So, with the color of the hair and everything, they got it right with Tom Cruise. They didn't with Stuart Townsend. But when it comes to behavior, Stuart Townsend actually nailed it. He was that fucking Bratton, I should know. He was that fucking brat that, sorry for the waving, that you guys read about in Anne Rice's books. And I grew up when we had no Stephanie Meyer with Glittery Vampires or any thing of the sort, or J.R. Ward. And by the way, if you never read J.R. Ward, you should go and like run to the nearest bookstore or go to any online store and buy it, because literally it's like she's amazing. She's an amazing writer. Her books, they show vampires in a hell of a new light, and it's like, god, and they're so hot. Yeah, I'm the kind of person that has a shit ton of book boyfriends, and oh my god, I love Vicious. Vicious is amazing, even though he's taken, but he's still amazing. Oh my god, love that guy. Anyways, she actually beat up Anne Rice completely, because I mean, but anyways, when I was growing up, we didn't have, I mean, we had Dracula. Have you ever read Dracula? I wanted to kill myself after I read Dracula. I read it in my native language, which is Portuguese, and I read it in the original one, and I still was like, I'm gonna kill myself because it was so bad. And this is coming from someone that had just seen Dracula by Francis Ford Coppola, or Coppola, or whatever you pronounce his last name, because I swear to God, up to this day, I still don't know. But oh my god, that movie, and like Gary Oldman in that movie. Seriously? I mean, oh my god, I wanted to marry Gary Oldman in that movie. Loved the sunglasses, the blue sunglasses. I have one of my best friends, she has like almost the exact same sunglasses, and I used to love it when we'd go out and she would be wearing them because it was amazing. Really, really love movie. Anyways, we had Dracula, we had Carmilla, um, which was actually really good. So I think it was the first time I read about feminine vampires, and like the way it was, the story was so many of a being so manipulative, like Carmilla was amazing. Much better than Carmilla from Castlevania. By the way, I love Castlevania. But gods, I hate Carmilla. I hate her. I mean, she's a villain, so of course I'm gonna hate her. But well, sometimes I actually like the villains. But anyways, I'm diverting. I'm like, I always do this. I'm really sorry. I start talking about one thing and then swear I probably was never diagnosed with what do you call it? Attention deficit disorder, ADD, um, something like that. So I started ranting about one thing and I ended up ranting about something else entirely. Going back to what I was saying, so we had limited sources of vampire books, which kind of saddens me, but it's the truth. And we worshipped Anne Rice while growing up. And by we, I mean, trust me, people that grew up in the time I was growing up, like in Interview with a Vampire had just come out and everything, we loved the books. I remember being at school and like I would not be paying attention to classes. I would be reading Anne Rice discreetly, except for the like 6 or 7 times I was caught. And I was like, I would spend my lunchtime breaks, everything. I would get into bed and I would read an entire book of hers in like 4 hours. I would devour the book. I actually ruined my eyesight because of doing that. But up to this day, it's something I do. By the way, you should see how fast I read the last one of Harry Potter. Um, but I think that just made my love for the books and wanting to see the movies, wanting to see all of them turned into movies. Um, like much more. And I remember when I heard that Queen of the Dam was coming out, and I was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it!" Because I loved every little part of it. I loved the story of the twins. I loved, oh my God, I loved Baby Jenks. It was so sad and it was so short, but it was amazing. I loved it, and I loved the way they portrayed Akasha in the book. Like she, I mean, you can see she was insane. Uh, I don't think that that being was I although she looked and acted like she was very sane, very rational. You you know in the end if you read the book that of course she was nothing like a rational being. Her dream of a society without violence by pretty much killing half the population of the planet, and by this I mean the male population. I mean, she would just save like 10% of them. At first, I remember when I was reading, I was like, this might actually work. Don't get me wrong, I'm bisexual, I'm not a lesbian, but I don't know any lesbians that want to see all the men dead. We people very much respect each other, but it's somewhat like at first it enticed me, and then I was like, the more I thought about it, the more I thought, nope, this is never going to work. This is genocide. This is what happened in World War II. Um, but every character had its arc, and I loved to read all about them. It was amazing. And I had such high hopes. So the book comes out, I'm sorry, the movie comes out, and I start to see the trailers, and I'm like, oh boy, this might not go well. Um, this might not go well at all. But I was like, okay, the Queen of the Damned was white as marble. They're casting Alaya. I get where they are going, if that's the only change they make. Okay, I see that Lestat's no longer blonde, but looks like and acts like Lestat. If you hear any noise, that's my roommate waking up. So I'm really sorry for that, because she mightn't attempt to talk to me because she has no idea I'm taping. Anyways, yep, there she is. I'm taping. Hi, sweetie. She's adorable. She hates when we say that, but she's adorable. She loves and rice just as much as I do. Um, and she's half naked, so please do not stand in front of the camera.
I'm what? I'm what?
I'm taping. Sorry. As I was saying, so anyways, I had such high hopes for the movie, and oh my God, I remember screaming at the movie theater. I was seeing the movie with one of my friends that has left us since then, unfortunately. And I was screaming. I was literally, you have no idea how I was like, what the hell is this shit? Seriously. I was like, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. I mean, the story had nothing to do with the book. Nothing. Literally nothing. It was like 1% adaptation, 9% inspiration, and 90% bullshit. Like complete and utter bullshit. My cat's here. If you see her passing by, say hello. Her name's Leia, like the princess. Yes, she's Leia Organa. Yes, who's a cute princess. Anyways, yeah, this is why we really need to learn to edit videos because I have no idea how to do this shit. Anyways, as I was saying, and then I saw that crap fest. I was so irritated. I remember other people in the theater being like about to jump to the screen because it was beyond our understanding. And Anne Rice was so proud and so endorsing of this movie, and I was like, how, woman? Did you endorse it because it has absolutely nothing to do with your book? Is that it? Because Queen of the Damned managed to ruin Vampire Lestat, Queen of the Damned, Tale of the Body Thief in like one full swift. It's like, whoosh! And there went all to the crapper. Oh my god. It's just, oh, it was so bad. Where were Gabriel and Louis and who the fuck chose that guy as Marius? And since when has Marius created Lestat? Never, ever, 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 ever. See why it's really hard to keep a calm, positive tone of voice. Like I said, quarantine drives you insane. Not as much, although, as the difference between the book and the movie. So yes, I was screaming in the theater. I don't know up to this day how I was not kicked out. It's something of a mystery to me, but I wasn't. Probably because I wasn't the only one. So I pretty much ended up um, having to come to terms with the movie. It took me a few years. Like I said, Stuart Townsend nailed it in what comes to behavior. He was full on Lestat, well, for most of it, except when he apparently has brain damage in that, oh, when he's talking to Akasha, like, had a king, like he just repeats everything that she's saying, and I'm like, did you hit your head, sweetie? Did you smoke too much something? Um, ate space brownies? Was that the problem? Because he just keeps repeating what she says, and I'm like, what the hell? Dude. Also, one thing that I have found that the statues of Akasha and Kill are full on white. That includes the clothes. So apparently the transformation, oh my god, that transformation goes and applies to the clothes. The transformation of a human into a piece of marble over the years applies to clothing and everything else, and hair. Like the hair I could actually accept to go albino, but the clothes and the jewelry lose color as well. Oh my god. Come on, what kind of bullshit is that? I mean, seriously, they explained that in the books. Marius was the one that's like taking care of them and like keep them clean and keeps the jewelries and everything, but what the fuck? Seriously, what the flying fuck? What the actual fuck were they thinking when they make the opening scene and they're like full marble white? What? Seriously. It just it 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 why? It makes no sense. It makes like, but sure, let's go ahead. Like I that scene when Akasha's leaving the club after burning everyone and everything inside. Uh, I did like the scene where she rips the guy's heart out. Loved it. And by the way, Elia did the best that she could with the material she was given. She was actually awesome with the material she was given. She did not write that shit, unfortunately. I think she would have made an excellent actress if Dad hadn't decided to, claim her so quickly. Uh, but it was just gods. That scene when she comes through the fire, and I mean, we had the Matrix by then and everything, so we were used to amazing special effects, and that was I mean, I can do better things at Photoshop, and trust me, hi Kitty. She agrees with me. I can do better things at Photoshop, and I'm not a pro. I'm the furthest thing from a pro there is. So, what the flying fuck? Who the hell was editing that shit and thought that that was good enough? I mean, what? Uh, oh god. If we hadn't had The Matrix and it's like awesome movies since then, if this was done in the period of time where special effects were actually, I can't remember a movie that had such crappy special effects in what comes to that scene. So I literally do not know how. No, seriously, the person that did that literally should be whipped. Yeah, I know a few dominatrix that would volunteer for that. Because they hated the movie just as much. Anyways, nowadays I actually see the movie. I've learned to detach myself. Like I see it as an independent movie, like I said, and I like it because it has like amazing songs, amazing performances by Stuart Townsend and Elia. And that's about it because we don't get much interaction with any other of the characters. I hate that they just boiled it down to Maharet, which by the way was a redhead. I mean, I love the actress. I believe her name is Lena Olin. Um, but she should be one, younger, two, redhead, three. Her eyes would have varied in color, but I believe at that time they were violet in the book, so nothing to do with the character. Nothing. Just literally nothing. And where's Mekare, which actually is the true queen of the den, which is the one that actually kills Akasha, and just they don't tell the story of the twins. I think there's a character there's that's supposed to be Kaiman, which looks nothing like Hyman. Um, there's one character that is, I believe, supposed to be Mael. Looks nothing like Mael. Nothing. Zero. And that's actually technically Jess's kind of love interest. I say love in a broad term because I think she was kind of infatuated with him. Um, the other thing that pissed me off was, oh, Jess was there when she was a little girl. No, she wasn't. And she was not grown up. She didn't grow up as an orphan. She grew up with a family, her adoptive family that they were actually blood relatives, but yes, they were her adoptive family. And she went to Maharat's house when she was, uh, I think it was 20, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, and it, this, and they just eliminated everything and messed up so many things that I have to ask, how in the name of the goddess, Anne Rice, could you actually endorse this shit? Seriously, J.R. Ward does not let her books be turned into movie, and she's actually been offered that because she is afraid of how badly they will be portrayed. The fans of her books, me included, all agree like this would have to be like a show, a very, very long show, very lengthy show, because like you could make a full season out of the first book alone. And she has like, I don't know how many on right now because I've lost count. All I know is that I have like a bookshelf and I have my Kindle and everything else. And yes, I know, I'm sorry. I am now boycotting Amazon because of what they're doing to um, their workers. But I, honest to God, had no idea that that was happening. So I have ceased to buy at Amazon because I'm pissed off at Jeff Bezos. Even more now when he's asking for money, when he's like the richest man of the in the world, instead of like donating to his workers, he just keeps exploiting them. Oh, brother, breed, breed. So, yeah, basically that's it. If I keep on, I'll just be repeating myself.